this great book, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. We read up to the first five sections, let's say, of this book, and this was a personal notebook. This was a notebook of Marcus Aurelius. He was a king, and it is considered one of the best books of Stoic philosophy. So I was telling about Stoic philosophy yesterday, and I want to begin with what Stoic philosophy is today. Okay, let's see. तो यहाँ पे जो है, I would like to say the way this person, now this book was written in Greek, and this book has been, this particular translation, I believe such a great book would have many translators. It is translated by George Long, who seems to be a devout Christian. And on Christianity, I would like to show something that I made for a school project. This is a church. It's a place of worship, and yeah. So interestingly, okay, so Stoic philosophy, let's see. I read a few lines here. This person was, Stoic philosophy is a branch of what the Christians call paganism, nature worship. I believe it kind of originated from there. Here something very interesting is written. The Roman religion was in fact of the nature of a bargain. Men paid certain sacrifices and rites, and the gods granted their favor, irrespective of right or wrong. So this is this is pretty similar to what the Hindu culture is, but the sacrifices and rites are. This is a very controversial thing. Let's not go into this, because let me come to what is Stoic philosophy. Hi Abhinash. Okay, the Stoics regarded speculation as a means to an end. Where is it about? Yes. To live in conformity with nature. This is what the Stoics. Hi Lucas, you are speedy. Okay. Your this is your channel name, and I believe it means something. My name. Let's give you the name of the book. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I'm reading this book. I have been reading this book, and we did till. For me, talking about the Stoic, I would love to know more about it. Stoicism is something that, again, with historic virtues, speak of the specific mind's eye. I believe you would know more about it. I'm going by your name, Willie. And then when you're looking at something before you, by the way you look at things, because I'm still awake, I'm not sure. Yes, this is by Marcus Aurelius, but Willie, I'm not sure. I get what you're saying. I kind of, I was stuck at this one, the Roman religion, what it was, because the Roman religion and the Hindu religion, or the Sanatan religion. She's not the only person who speaks, especially from the physics perspective. She, as in you mean me, or um, okay. So yes, Stoicism is, but I believe it is it. The reason Stoicism, justice when persons are and are innocent, we have to always pay attention to the true guilty party. Well, um, I'm not sure we are going to that part where we are talking about punishment and rewarding. Oh wow! No, when I refer to Stoicism, it's based on Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic, I think, and this book is about his thoughts, his meditations. This is what I understand, and what I like really. I'll tell you my viewpoint. What I loved about the book was um, that this man wrote something for himself. Still awake. Sometimes a still awake thing. I don't know that issue of still awake was in. Are you referring to something written here? Still awake. I'm not sure, Willie. But for me, this book I loved. Why I loved this book is because this man, he wrote it for himself. He's expressing his gratitude for what he learned from people in his life. And this man was constantly at war. He was a king. Willie, I'm not sure I get you, honestly. Maybe we are talking about two different things. I am very ignorant about Stoicism. I have to. Okay, Stoic prudence, justice. Okay, okay. But I would love to know more about Stoicism. Right now, I'm actually focused on this book. But yes, of course, I believe a lot of the Stoic principles come from this book. So I'll probably educate myself more. But I was more than happy to see that somebody had written about what he has learned from each person. So that is a great way to remind yourself of what to reinforce in life. What to reinforce in life, and not to forget that these are the things that we have taken time to learn from our elders, and these are the principles that we need to follow in our lives. Yes, Avinash, bye. This is about a book, so I believe, this might not interest you. With due respect, thank you so much. Okay, it's okay. So number 6, we read till number 5. Number 6, he says, pardon my pronunciation. English is not my first language. Neither is any of these languages, so I might not be pronouncing the names properly. From Diognetus, not to busy myself about trifling things, and not to give credit to what was said by miracle workers and jugglers about incantations and the driving away of demons and such things. Oh, wow, something that we all need to be telling ourselves, because when we are about to lose somebody in a relationship, the first person we want to go to are the miracle workers, the astrologers. I'm not saying that's not a science that we should not believe in, but the true practitioners of such a science, like astrology or hand reading, palm reading, are pretty less, and it's tough to find the ones who truly know and who can truly foretell our future. So, not to breed quails for fighting. Okay, so these were sports. No, Willie, I'm not speaking from any militant standpoint. You're quoting me wrong here. I don't think I spoke of any military standpoint. No. I was just talking. I read a line which was about offering sacrifices to gods. And this person writes that it's a bargain, but it's deeper than that. It's deeper than a bargain with the gods when you offer sacrifices and you perform those rites. Rituals are tantra. So when you incantate, when you're speaking and you're performing actions, that is tantra in Hinduism, and that has deeper significances. It's not only for getting something. Of course it is for getting something, but sometimes the getting is what you want to get is not are not material things or kingdoms. It's much more than that. It's to liberate yourself from the cycles of birth and death. So nothing from military standpoint. I'm not so qualified to be speaking from those standpoints. This is just I take up books because I want to learn from them. That is all about it. And anything that I say is my viewpoint. That can be very ignorant. I'm very sorry if I'm pressing the wrong buttons or giving the wrong meanings, but of course I am definitely not qualified enough. Pardon me. So yes, and then they're saying not to give myself up passionately to such things and to endure freedom of speech. Let's endure freedom of speech here as well. And to have become intimate with philosophy and to have been a hearer first of Bacchus, then of Tandisis and Marcianus. I'm not talking what I've learned. I'm not speaking of you. I'm speaking what. Oh, really? I'm so sorry. Okay, what you have learned. Okay, okay. Thank you so much for clearing that. Or Islamic philosophy from the militant standpoint. Okay, okay. You seem to have studied Stoicism. Can you tell me if it is something that is worth learning in these days? I've heard that Stoic philosophies are timeless and they hold good even to this day. And many people, what I've heard is Stoicism is extreme, but those extremities have their relevance, and they were extreme because they pertained to that era where extremism was needed because the masses were not uh, educated that way. So please enlighten us if you can. But I really loved how this, if Marcus Aurelius is the flag bearer of Stoicism, I would definitely like to read more about it. Because here is a man who, in his personal time and space, is jotting down who has taught him what. And that's a wonderful way to be thankful, I think, to be grateful, to remember people who have left a mark in his life. Okay. Okay, so he talks about simple living, I believe, and to have written dialogues in my youth, and to have desired a plank bed and skin, and whatever else of the kind belongs to the Grecian discipline. I'm not aware of the Grecian discipline either. Simply Dharma, like living in the Domo Dharma, living in the still of me, silent moment or meditation, personal perspective from your work, from your walk of life. Okay, okay. Stoic prudence tantra, simple dharma like living in the domo, dharma living in the still of me, silent moment or meditation, personal perspective from your walk of life. Okay, thank you for sharing what you have learned. I'll read more of your comments because I might have been seeing them in a different light, but time for me to go through. Okay. Stoic prudence, justice. Okay, great. I would like to know more of your perspective. But what is, I don't know what is DAMA, Domo Dama. I'll look up those words for sure. I'm very ignorant. True challenge, diligence, and discipline. Quietly listen like the judge hammer. Wow. Okay. Yes, diligence and discipline. The reason I'm again taking up reading books, even though I have a very busy perspective, you can see I've been doing school projects. I made this church out of thermocol today, and I've never done things like this in my life. But I have to do for my daughter. But this diligence and discipline in these days when the mobile is a constant source of distraction, building these up is really something. It would be very commendable. Quietly listen like the judge hammer. Okay, okay. Yes, listening is a skill. Many of us are forgetting. I used to be quite a listener, but now that I'm a mother, I'm more of the do this, do that. Being a parent really brings out certain things. But anyway, a lot of people change in responsibilities, natures change at times. Okay, let's read 7. From Rusticus, I received the impression that my character required improvement and discipline. So he remembers a person who told him that his character required improvement and discipline. And from him, I learned not to be led astray to sophistic emulation. Wow, so important these days. Not to writing on speculative matters, not to delivering little hortatory orations, not to showing myself off as a man. Imagine a king saying this, who praises much discipline, nor to showing myself off as a man who practices much discipline. So I don't know why it's not extremity. He's talking about walking the middle path of everything, I believe, or does benevolent acts in order to make a display. So no show off. This point number 7 is he's saying about no show off in the real sense of the term. So not showing off as a person who loves the virtues like discipline, or not showing off as a kind man, and to abstain from rhetoric and poetry. That might be difficult. But what a beautiful thing to say. And fine writing, and not to, he's even saying about not to show off in writing or in speaking, and not to walk about in the house in my outdoor dress, nor to do other things of the kind. So no show off in no way. This is point number 7. Hermes or metrics, psychology, sociology, biology, social psychology, north, south, east, west. Okay, everything is same. I believe this is what you're getting to. Okay, then he says, not to do other things of the kind, and to write my letters with simplicity. So no show off. Like the letter which Rusticus wrote from Sinuessa to my mother, and with respect to those who have offended me by words or done me wrong. To be easily disposed to be pacified and reconciled as soon as they have shown a readiness to be reconciled. Wow. So not to hold on to anger as soon as they have shown a readiness to be reconciled. So when the other party, and this is coming from a king, who says, you be ready to reconcile and be friendly towards people who want to reconcile with you, and to read carefully. Okay, the word discipline and the virtues. Okay. Nor hastily to give my assent to those who talk over much. And I'm indebted to him for being acquainted with the discourses of Epictetus, which he communicated to me out of his own collection. So I'll leave it till 7 here, because I have to go to work and school tomorrow. But yeah, I'll wait for Willie to write He was writing something. This verse 7 is beautiful. Okay, Willie, I think, are you writing something? Because I'm waiting for your message actually. It seemed like you were writing something, and I would really love to read that. And I love this message of yours wherein you're saying true challenge is diligence, discipline, quietly listening, like the Judge Hammer. The Senate and the Republic, we are so busy being or talking about what they wanted to do that they fail. Instead of talking about what they want to do, just do it. That's what about the true. We are busy criticizing what should be done, what should not be done. You're personally dealing with the same thing in a different way. The biblical virtues. Okay. Regardless of the works of the body, the working body virtues are needed to be able to make true. True, Willie. So I'll leave this live with that. Tomorrow I'll come again and read. And maybe if you're there around, you can share more of your personal thoughts. We are all dealing with something or the other, right? There's always a pull and push between the virtues and the vices, and what to follow and how much to follow, and to control the evils inside us, to be the better person. There's always a tug inside. I'll take your leave now, Willie. Thank you so very much. Bye bye. Take care.